The mega weekend is in the books. WWE King and Queen of the Ring, AEW Double or Nothing, and we're going to talk about it. Two of them. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend Hollywood Frank.
That's right, baby. Let's do this.
Back. God damn, the last couple weeks have been rough. Everybody was sick. My dad was sick. I was sick.
I was working last
Frank
Tuesday.
was working. It's like, ugh. But my God. But yeah, we had a lot of wrestling happened this week. Like I said, WWE's King and Queen of the Ring, AEW's Double or Nothing. Here we go. Who wrote this? What's up, Johnny?
Hello. Long week?
Yeah, it was rough, man. It was like everybody can, that there's a really nasty flu going around and everybody here got it. My dad got it. He's already got that lung issue. So that was really touch and go for a little bit there. But just a lot of crap and a lot of drama, but we got through it.
And we're here.
Did you watch any of it, Johnny? Did you watch King of the Queen of the Ring? Did you watch Double or Nothing? Did you watch the highlights?
I watched a bit of Double or Nothing, yes. I got some stuff that I like to complain about it because it's fun to be negative, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does nowadays, man. There's a couple, don't get me wrong, there's a couple things. It's just, there were a couple of head scratchers and a few things here and there, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But also had some contracts ending, some other contracts coming up. So there's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, there is.
Before we do that, let's go ahead and check in with everybody that's here. Leg Kick was first. Said, "Hail the Wrestling Council! Hail Leg Kick! How you doing, man?" Maldecito, sup, people? What's up, Maldecito?
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Appreciate you being here, man. Big Daddy Gardner Case was here, and he was saying hi to Mal. Of course, Big Daddy was like, hey, yo, Big Daddy.
Hey, yo.
I was watching all these clips with the interview with Scott that Scott Hall gave, man. It was some cool stuff. Just talking about all kinds of crazy things that happened. But
28 years ago yesterday that he appeared on WCW.
Yep. Long time. God, my God, we're old.
28 years ago. The start of the NWO.
Oh my God. That was a long time ago, man. Long time ago. But appreciate you being here, Big Daddy. Just talking back and forth. So much hate at Edge Copeland. AW Ignorance strikes again. Well, yeah. No, like I said, I listened to the interview and the thing that he talked about because he put a little video out on his YouTube channel. I mean, his Twitch channel. And not Twitch. God damn it. My
Twitter.
Twitter. Thank you.
One of those.
One of those.
X.
Kind of explaining things. And once again, he wanted to do it, and he wanted to, he takes all the blame for it. But at the end of the day, TK's in charge, and sometimes you got to tell these guys no, because good God, look what happened at Darby. Jeez, dude, his face looked like a hamburger. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened this week. Did you watch both shows, Frank?
I did not. I saw King and Queen of the Ring. I saw bits and pieces of. Double or
Double or
nothing,
Nothing.
but not the whole thing.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get into it. Like I said, I don't want to bury the lead here, but before we get into anything, and do our favorite little segment, a little something we like to call the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this week it is Frank. What you got, my brother?
It's a good weekend for the pay-per-views. Like if you like wrestling, that was it. Even though the one was in Saudi Arabia, that was early in the morning. Yeah, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You still got a chance with the Peacock to watch it later if you had the cock.
Jack. Yeah.
But several different ways you can go with good. There's a lot to digest. There's bad and ugly with this weekend. So let's see. The good, Gunther, your King of the Ring
Yep.
champion.
I was shocked by that.
I was happy to see that, especially with the stipulation that the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring get a title shot at SummerSlam. So we have Gunther versus, as of right now, Damian Priest, which I expect to still be that. I don't expect Drew McIntyre to take the title off of him at Clash of the Castle. So I think it's still going to be Damian Priest versus Gunther at SummerSlam. So I'm happy to see that. There, hopefully it's not a one and done for Gunther.
I can't believe that would be the case, but
I don't know if they're ready to pull the trigger on putting the title on him yet. I think Damian Priest deserves a run with it, but it'd be nice to see Gunther in the main event with the world title on the line. Or is it the world title? I don't remember what title it is. Official name.
Yeah, I think basically Seth's belt.
Yeah, the secondary belt. All right.
The loser.
It's nice to see Gunther getting the rub and the that he deserves with that. I mean, 666 days Intercontinental Champion. Still the second greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time because the Honky Tonk Man is number one. But yeah, it's good to see Gunther getting where he should be. You talked about it quite a bit that Gunther should be elevated to the world title scene, and rightfully so. And hopefully they make the best of the opportunity they're giving to him, and he puts on a good show.
Yep, I agree.
The bad, Malicito seemed to like it. The Anarchy in the Arena, I think the flamethrower scene
unnecessary.
Yeah, why?
Now here's
the worst part is not they using it. That's the worst part. The guy coming back to win the match. Like if you're gonna use a flamethrower on somebody, he better not get up.
Yeah, this is just dumb. That part of the Anarchy in the Arena is dumb. I mean, this is wrestling. It's not this carny stuff that Tony Khan seems to be a fan of with some of these guys. Hey, Miss Sharon, nice to see you. Welcome to the show. But I just don't like things like that. It's not needed. If you want to be taken as a serious threat to WWE, this goofy stuff needs to stop. This is not the 80s with WWE. This is the 2020s where this stuff doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's we've talked about this before. It's one of the issues that Tony seems to. It's almost like Tony is trying to do every cool angle that he thought he loved growing up, and a lot of it in today's world just doesn't work, man. So
yeah,
but
I'm waiting for the electric chair match with they had WCW years ago with Abdul the Butcher and Cactus Jack. Come on. And my ugly, maybe we should change the name from All Elite Wrestling to Always Injured Wrestling.
I'm telling you, man.
Adam Copeland, broken tibia. Not sure if it's his right leg or his left leg. I don't know that, but surgery and going to be out for a few months, I'm sure. So don't, and please, Tony Khan, don't do some stupid interim champion. Take the title off of Edge. Have a tournament. Crown a new champion.
Yeah, and I said either put that belt on somebody that could really use that somebody that's right there on the cusp, could use that rub, like a Buddy Murphy, Malachi Black, who's definitely deserving some kind of a singles push, or put the belt on somebody that can elevate it.
And that does not mean Darby Allin. That does not mean Pockets, Orange Cassidy. Those two guys, no.
Yeah, they don't need. Yeah, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, like I said, somebody that they got that talent. They can work in the ring. They need that. Something that could really you could find your next big star. But give it to them or give it to somebody that can elevate the hell of it, like a Bryan Danielson. I think Malachi Black's the perfect choice. I think he could do both.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, something, or I don't know, maybe you factor Adam Cole in there somehow. I don't care.
Yeah,
he's not clear yet.
Maybe you put Pac in there and put a title on Pac. I don't care. Somebody, but Malachi Black or Buddy Matthews would be my first two choices, and
yep, I agree.
I don't know when he's coming back. Miro would be another option if he's going to be back anytime soon. I don't know, but Always Injured Wrestling, you never know with those guys when they're coming back. But there's so much talent there. Let's elevate the title, and I don't want to see it on Christian again. No offense to Christian.
I don't think he needs it. I think he went as far with that belt as he could, and he elevated that title. So he gave it some relevance, some much desperately needed relevance.
Yeah.
So, but
he said I could have gone a couple different ways with each, but that's my GBU. What do you got, sir?
Oh, I got a lot.
Well, one of each, sir.
Okay. The good. There was some good wrestling, man. Both shows. Orton versus Gunther was great. I'll tell you, dude, it did not take long for WWE fans to start turning on Gunther and being like, "Oh, he's so one-dimensional." Dude, shut the hell up. What are you talking about, man? The guy's awesome. But his match, Orton versus Gunther, was the match of the night, in my opinion. It was the match of the night. But Cody versus, Logan Paul. That was a good match. You know what really put that match over? That drone shot at the end when that they did with Logan Paul, and just looking at that and looking at the last 5 or 6 years in WWE, and wondering again how the hell Kevin Dunn still had a job. Cinematography in WWE is so much better now, and doing shots like that, he never would have done that. He never would have even dreamt of doing that shot. But
and I give a lot of credit to Logan Paul. The guy's really
whether you like him, you don't like him, man. He's dedicated himself to it.
Yep.
I don't even think of him as a YouTuber anymore. Even though I know he is, but he's, in my mind, he's a wrestler now. People have legitimate gripes with the guy and everything, but still, you got to give credit where credit's due. But that that show was good. And then and then over in AEW, the one thing that we do know that Tony Khan is really good at is putting together dream matches. And Strickland versus Cage was a really good match. up until that friggin' moment, Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black was a really good match. It was a good match. Strong versus Ospreay, obviously, in my personal opinion, that was match of the night. Even the women's matches, even though again, crowd wasn't into them towards the very end. But Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb, very good match, for the women. Probably the best match that Toni Storm's had since she went to AEW. Moxley versus Takeshita, although I would have liked to have seen something different. I mean, AEW doesn't control who gets to win and lose versus that title. That's all New Japan. So all the people that are grappling at AEW, that's New Japan. You gotta go that.
Then here's an idea. Don't put him in the match. He needs to start winning.
Or let them talk to them and say, listen, it's just an eliminator match. He's not going to win. You still get to decide who gets to win and lose. But apparently they just didn't like the idea of an AEW guy fighting for the title before a New Japan guy. So it's intercompany politics, man. There's nothing you can do about that.
Nope.
Rosa versus Purrazzo was a really good match too. I don't know why I do know why it wasn't on the freaking main event card, because the freaking pay-per-view was 5.5 hours long. So, yeah. But there was a lot of really good wrestling on both shows. Yeah, and I get that. And even though I do know that he has tried to make up for that, and he's admitted that it was a stupid and insensitive thing to do. At some point, forgiveness has to come into play. I remember seeing that and thinking this dude's a complete freaking tool. He, at the very least, unlike his brother, has tried to, atone for some of the stuff that he's done. So, but so that's my good. Second part of my good. 2 big returns, man. Juice Robinson, love this dude, man. Love him to death. And MJF, man, he came out. And here's the thing: a lot of people didn't pick this up. MJF came out of the heel tunnel. So even though he may be doing face with the Adam Cole thing, he's still a heel, and he even said that he's gonna get back to being who he was. So I'm down with that.
Since you mentioned him, let me just jump the gun on something that's truly ugly here. That tattoo, man.
You know what, dude? I part of me thinks that it's not even real, but I mean, it's gonna have to be, because it's gonna be covered up. So, or maybe it's a placeholder or something. Who knows, man? That would be such a heel thing to do, though. Is get that, and I'm like, oh yeah, he got a tattoo, and then find out that it's not real. That'd be awesome. I think that'd be bad. That'd be awesome, but that's me. The bad, some of the booking decisions and some of the finish, and there was a lot of botches in both companies this week, man.
Yeah.
At King and Queen of the Ring, what was it? Jade Cargill and Bianca. That match was all over the freaking place. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Even though it was on the kickoff show, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay. And it just, man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're not comfortable doing the move, if you're not on Cracker Jack at something, man, you don't need to be pulling that crap off especially on a pay-per-view. That thing was a botch fest. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. There was a small botch on there. But the biggest one was that friggin' chair shot. But then on Double or Nothing, I did not watch most of the kickoff show. I did watch Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. Dude, there was a major. It had to be a botch. That match with my brain just took a crap. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong, involving the other guys from the Kingdom and everything like that. That was dicey, man. I was like, listen, I know Ospreay's a crazy athletic dude. Roderick Strong is one of my favorite wrestlers when it comes to his in-ring work and everything. Maybe a few too many bodies involved in that whole thing. That was a little sketchy.
Can we pretend we're trying not to do stuff in front of the referee? Just pretend we're trying.
Yeah, that's the other part. That's the booking part where I'm like, why weren't they immediately disqualified? The referee's looking straight. But then again, that's something that AEW has had a problem with since day one. Is that should have been it was just like the Jade match for the Queen of the Ring qualifier. It's like as soon as what's her name tried to hit her with the friggin' chair, shouldn't that have been disqualification right there? Ref was standing right there.
Yeah.
So it happens everywhere. It just seems to happen in AEW a lot more, and I think that's because TK kind of gives them more of a blank page to go and do whatever they want. But then of course, the decision to let Adam Copeland climb to the top of a freaking cage, which we know that the cage in AEW is actually taller than the one that WWE uses, and jump off that sucker. I mean, I said it with the whole thing with Matt Hardy when he tried to do that move that basically almost killed him. I said it with a lot of stuff that Sting done. I'm just still amazed that Sting didn't get hurt seriously in the ring. And I'll say it now. Sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves.
Yes.
And
yes, you do.
And even Adam Copeland in that little video he did on his Twitter, he admitted he's like, I forgot I was a 50-year-old man, jumping off a 20-foot cage. So, but it is what it is. But unfortunately, it's yet another thing that continues to happen, and you're gonna have to deal with it how you want. And then the ugly, two things for me this week. Obviously, the injuries. He had his injuries is much worse than everybody else's. Adam Copeland broke his tibia. He's going to require surgery, which is awful to think of. There's a couple other people that are hurt too. Athena got hurt, so she's they don't think her injury is that bad. But like I said, the injury list grows and grows and grows, man. We got two people back, and another two went out. So you can't keep doing this, man. Edge was listening to the Terrence Howard talk about gravity and went with it. Dude, listen, man. I actually look, Terrence Howard, that talk, man, it seemed a little crazy. It seemed a little tinfoil hat, but he was actually talking. Most of the stuff he talked about was actually legit. So that's an interesting interview. But then the ugly also is we know that Sexual Chocolate, man. Mark Henry's contract was up yesterday. Yep. He said he was not re-signing with AEW. We know that Becky Lynch's contract is up next week. And automatically, everyone and their mother started coming out saying, oh, he's leaving because of this. And just the venom, man. The hatred on both sides just coming out. Meanwhile, they both said what they were going to do. Mark Henry said that the reason why he wasn't re-signing with AEW was not because he wasn't happy. He was being used behind the scenes, which is, pretty much the way he wanted. But he has a new business that he's going to focus on, and he can't do that if he's working, full time with AEW. He's got
he does the bust it open every once in a while.
Yeah, well, he does that, but he has two new businesses. He's one is a branding thing.
Yeah,
he's leaving to focus on that.
Yeah, he says if he can't dedicate 100% or can't dedicate to wrestling, I mean, he'll still be a phone call if somebody wants to talk to him. But
yeah, and then also with Becky Lynch, a lot of people were speculating, and I was one of them that's saying that she was going to take some time off because she's made it very clear that being a mom is the most important thing to her right now. and working full time as a pro wrestler, especially in WWE, it's a lot of time away from home.
Mm.
And I said, as soon as I heard about the contract thing, I was, I bet you $10 she's going to take at least 5 or 6 months off. She's going to go home. She's going to be a mom. She may go home and be a mom, and that'll be it. Because she's made it very clear that that's her priority. But immediately, all the people were saying, "Oh, yeah, they dropped the ball on Becky Lynch," and then the WWE, "Oh, well, screw her. We don't need her anyway." Blah 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 blah. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys, what is wrong with you? It's just, and I get favoritism. I get, I even get tribalism to a certain point. That's fandom. But it's to the point now where if you don't make every decision the way that the E drones or the A drones demand, they just start taking a shit on you, man, and it's ridiculous. But that's my GBU, Johnny. You said you got a couple things you want to add. Let's hear it.
Well, let's not bury the lead. We're gonna talk about this show. It's gonna be there.
Okay.
Except I just want to ask why Jericho still has a job, but we can get to that later too.
Wow. Although, I did see like one piece of news this week that made me go, "Really, dude?" Did you hear that thing with Jesse Ventura saying that he's trying to negotiate for a Legends deal?
Yep.
And I'm like, first of all, 99% of fans today aren't going to know who the hell Jesse Ventura is. And secondly, the guy's been crapping all over them for like the last 20 years. And he thinks he's going to get some kind of a deal with them.
Oh, well, maybe not if Vince is gone, but the guy wanted to start a union in WWE for the wrestlers. I mean,
which I'm not completely against, especially at the time that they were there. But it's just like, dude, all you've done in the last 20-something years is 25 years is just talk mad shit about the freaking company. You really think
Steiner can do it?
What's that?
If Steiner can do it.
Yeah, but you don't see Steiner. You don't see Steiner hanging around in WWE right now, do you? And they wouldn't even let his kid use his name.
Steiner asking for a Legends contract.
Man, I'd give Steiner a Legends contract before I would to Jesse Ventura. And I like Jesse Ventura. But all right, that's the GBU, man. Which one do you want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about the King of the Ring, or you want to talk Double or Nothing?
It's King of the Ring. Let's go with that.
All right.
It was the first one. It was on Saturday, so let's go with that.
So like I said, I didn't watch
kickoff.
I didn't watch the kickoff.
That's right.
Which was I did watch the kickoff, but I watched it later.
Jade is still green as goose shit.
Oh my god, dude! And doesn't really apply to pro wrestling. Today's era fans are mostly immature and downright dumb. Just saying, no offense, what I say. No, I get you, and that's why I said I like tribalism. I understand tribalism to a certain extent. That's fandom. You have the thing that you love, you have the thing that you like. And dude, I remember me and Frank, man, we remember the Monday Night Wars, dude. And people were going at each other and stuff. The stuff right now is the reason why I call it tribalism is because that's what it's being referred to today. I think of what most people think of tribalism, I think of as just fandom. But the stuff, like I said, the stuff that's going on now, the super immature, and where people will literally go out of their way to try to ruin your life, and just it's borderline cancel culture is what it is.
Yes.
And I'll never be a fan of cancel culture. So, and just people going out of their way to try to, mess with people's lives and stuff like that. It's just wrestling, guys. Chill out. It's never been called tribalism before. Yeah, well, as I said, that's why I used, today's vernacular because, that's the people that are listening today. But, companies were going at each other, people who worked in companies, they went at each other for a time. I mean, you go back and look at the stuff that Dusty used to say about WWE, about Vince McMahon. back in his day. But that was part of the business, man. But the thing was, I think fans then were like, they would accept it. They understood that was part of the way the things worked and everything. Now it's if you don't do exactly what I say and do it in the way that I want to, I'm going to actually try to take actions to hurt you. That's the stuff that I don't understand.
Speaking of WWE King and the Ring, Mr. GOC's good, Gunther the bad, the way Braun Strowman booked, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with 3 table spots and not breaking by Orton on Gunther.
Yeah, it's funny because the week before, the table was made out of
balsa wood.
Was like you breathed on it and it fell apart. And then this week they're like, well, we got to make sure that doesn't happen again. Somebody get the super glue. And it's like it was just douche. And he finally went through. They're like, oh my god, man, they trying to kill him. Yeah, that, and you know what? That's actually a good. That's actually a good way to put it, Big Daddy. They all think that they're part of the business. They think they're part of the show, and that's where they just injected. But no, dude, and that match, like I said, match of the night. Before we get into any of those matches, what do you think about the 5-match format for the pay-per-views?
The pay-per-views, the last couple, like the Backlash, this one, I'm sure, Clash of the Castle, they're big name pay-per-views, so you're only going to get 4 or 5 matches on the main show anyway. So
yeah, and I actually think I like it better this way.
I don't have a problem with it at all. The issue I have is with AEW's 6-hour pay-per-views.
5.5 hours, man. That's a long time to expect it to sit through a freaking show, man. But no, and like you said, and it looks like they're going to go to a 2-night format for all the. I think the big 4, their main 4. I think they're going to go to 2 nights for all of those eventually.
I don't think you need 2 nights for Royal Rumble. I mean,
I don't either. But
it's the Royal Rumble, it's the men's Royal Rumble, the women's Royal Rumble, and then they can throw in a couple 2 or 3 matches besides that. Like, you don't need to go 2 nights for the Royal Rumble. That to me is just overkill.
I get the feeling that is what they're going to do, though. I think you're going to get the like 2 or 3. You're going to get 3 or 4 matches, like the regular matches, and then you're going to get the Rumble, the women's Rumble one night, and the men's Rumble the next night. I think that's what they're eventually going to do.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, fine. Like, even a Survivor Series, they haven't built that up. Like, it used to be 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
You had different teams. Now it's just one faction against the next, one show against the next, with Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't need to be a 2-night event.
I don't think most of their shows. I can see SummerSlam and I can see WrestleMania going into 2 nights. I can see them doing that, and because SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken, SummerSlam is usually considered to be the next big one to WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. And the Rumble is such a unique design to it that, like you said, I don't think it needs 2 nights. I get the feeling that that's what they're going to do, though. I think all big 4 are going to end up being 2 nights within the next 5 years.
If you're going to make the Royal Rumble a 2-night event, then have it be a 30-man over the top instead of a 20-man.
Yeah, the Rumble should be the centerpiece of all of it. So,
but increase it to 10 more guys.
Yeah, I could see that. But I hope I'm wrong about that one at least, because
and you don't have enough women to make it 30.
But well, if you include all of NXT, you do.
Well, yeah.
But
if you bring in people like Deonna Purrazzo or not Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James and what's her name?
Oh, yeah, from TNT.
Yeah,
or for TNA. But Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because, like I said, that was one of the big announcements that they made. Women's championship match: Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. What did you think?
Did the right thing by taking the title off of Becky Lynch. You know, we knew it was going to happen because A, her contract status, B, taking time off. You're not going to keep a title on somebody whose contract is up. Am I a fan of it being Liv Morgan?
This match, you know, I thought Becky definitely made the match better. Like I said, we talked about it. I didn't think putting the belt on her was a good idea. We know that it was basically a mad scramble because Rhea got hurt.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go because the whole storyline was going to be Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan in the ring is serviceable, but she's not good enough to really carry the match by herself. And she needs someone in there with the kind of seasoning that Becky's got. She needs to be in there with a higher caliber of opponent to really make it a good match. The one thing about Becky though is this current version of her character is stale. The fashionista, that kind of crap, that whole thing. Basically, she's female Seth.
It matches her husband. That's it.
It doesn't fit her though, man. It never did, and that's the reason why I was like, it's kind of like the situation with Max. She's good enough that she can make anything work or anything be passable, but it just doesn't fit her. Becky is a natural face. She's a natural face, and the way she works, she's always been a natural face. Seth is a natural heel. He's the exact opposite. MJF is a natural heel. That's why and like I said, they're good enough that they could make it work, but it just doesn't fit right. And then especially the whole fashionista thing, man, it got old real quick. I mean, look at the situation with Seth. That's what everyone's been, one of the big things with him is like, dude, why with all the goofy shit?
And like last night, I don't mind. Hopefully they continue it. The angle they're going with Dom and Liv Morgan, where it cut off. I rewatched Raw before our show today, but they didn't show the part of her kissing him after, because it cut off before that. And then, did he really slam the door on Becky Lynch by accident, or was that intended? I mean, they can go through that angle and set it up to where you talked about when Rhea Ripley comes back being a face.
Yeah.
And now Dom has to choose between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, I get the storyline and everything, but I do think that this was the right choice to make. I did know that, Big Daddy. He's been talking about that for months, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes
there anymore,
dude.
I thought he wasn't there anymore.
Well, he was there kind of in name only. He wasn't really doing anything. And he did say he wasn't re-signing. A big part of that is because of Cody leaving. And honestly, I think Arn's going to be the guy that shows up as Cody's manager in WWE. When he made that illusion that he needs a classic guy, a classic manager, I think Arn's going to be the guy. Yep. And that could also mean that Brock is going to get like a developmental deal with WWE, which that would benefit him a lot. Sorry about that. Still coughing up a little bit. Brock, I think going to the Performance Center and continuing to learn there, I think would probably be the best thing for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Arn shows up there. So and as soon as Cody said that, that's the first thing that popped into my head. So but yeah, the match wasn't bad. Like I said, Morgan is serviceable in the ring. She's popular because she's very attractive. She does pretty good character work, but she needed Becky in that match, and it happened exactly the way we thought. Sometimes doing exactly what everyone thinks is the right thing to do.
Yes. Yep.
And Becky's gonna go. I think she's gonna go be a mom. She ain't going. Look, guys,
she's not going to AEW.
She's not going to AEW. Okay, She's one of the top. She's one of the top women in WWE. Her husband's one of the top people there. They get to work with each other if they want to. They're happy. They're getting paid well. She's got no reason to jump ship. And so yeah, she's gonna take some time off. And as soon as that they talk about that, I was like, that's the first thing that popped in my head. She's gonna go home. She's gonna go be a mom for a while. And good for her.
Right. And what if she wants to be a mother again? Like,
yeah, that may see that's another thing too. Like she is kind of cut from the same cloth as AJ. AJ's got a good wife that helps him, mitigate the not being home as much. But he's made it very clear that at this point in his career, he could keep going because he still performs at an extremely high level, but he doesn't want to. He wants to go home. He wants to be with his family, and good for him. Same thing with like Ospreay's motivation. He wants to be there for his family.
Yeah.
I don't know when wanting to be with your family became a sign of weakness.
Yeah, so, if Becky wants to, have another child right now, why not? I mean, don't sign a contract.
Do it. Yeah,
don't sign a contract after the baby's born.
Yeah,
like
nothing. There's no greater regret than regret. So, so if that's the idea, more power to her, man. What was the next match? Was it the triple threat match for the IC championship?
I think so.
And this is where we were saying that freaking Bronson, dude. Okay, so all three of the people in this match, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, all three of these guys are good. All three of these guys are good. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Gio, 100%. And you know what? And like I said, I'll always respect people when they make that kind of decision, put their family first. Especially today they're able to do that. Back in the day, they weren't able to do that. It was either you do this or you're done.
Yep.
And so I got a lot of respect for those guys back on that 300 plus day grind, man, from all those years, and just your body getting broken down. And because they were doing it for their families too. So, but back to this match. This match would have been infinitely better if it was just 2 1-on-1 with any three of these guys. Sammy versus Chad Gable 1-on-1. Sammy versus Bronson Reed 1-on-1. It feels like Bronson Reed is being thought of. He's an afterthought. They want to do. It's like Triple H likes him. That's why he brought him back.
Yep.
But they have no idea what to do with him. And so they just kind of keep inserting him into other people's stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, if you don't have anything for him, on the main roster, let him go back to NXT and be the top guy there. Do something to elevate this guy, because for a big man, he's really good.
And you weren't taking the title off of Sammy.
Nope. So why is he there?
And they didn't want to pin on Chad Gable.
Right now, though, with the way Chad Gable's character is working, you could do a pin on him or something like that. Have Otis turn on him. We know that's going to happen eventually. Do something like that. You don't need all three of these guys in this match because they're diluting each other, and it definitely doesn't do a lot to elevate Bronson Reed.
He can just get pinned and blame it on his students.
Yes,
It's
exactly. He'll blame them. So
Yeah.
do something like that. But it just feels like Bronson Reed has been an afterthought ever since they brought him back. As far as the match itself was, like I said, these three guys they're all good. They're three very, very good wrestlers. So it got so it was a good match. It was a decent match. I like the "you suck" chance that Chad Gable was getting. Dude, he needs to lean into being just like hardcore Kurt Angle, man.
Yeah.
And but I also felt like because of what they were doing with Bronson Reed and the way that he's been booked and the fact that this match would have been better with just two people, I felt that pulled the match down. So that was my personal opinion. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, one-on-one would have been so much better.
Yeah, because like I said, these guys, they know how to work. especially Chad Gable. Get him in there and let him cook. But it is what it is. Queen of the Ring finale: Lyra Valkyrie versus Nia Jax. Look, Nia has been better since she came back, but she's still not great. And she still has had several moments where she was unsafe. That being said, dude, neither one of these two doing any. I give them credit for putting a newer talent like Lyra Valkyrie in a match like this. I get that. You're trying to elevate this person. You're trying to give them. Trying to let them show out. Fine, that's great. You have so many other people that would have benefited more from being in this match. And does anybody believe that they are taking either title off of either woman and putting it on Nia Jax?
No, she has to wrestle on SmackDown for that title.
Yeah.
But no, they're not. Making Nia Jax Queen of the Ring, I feel, is the same vein as when they made Baron Corbin King of the Ring. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, me
it's
either.
the same as Bronson Reed when Baron Corbin when he had the crown.
Yeah, and I like I said, I understand wanting to try something new, like letting a newcomer in here and letting them perform. I do know that some minor injuries were involved in that, or personal issues were involved in some people being pulled out, and some people, not winning, et cetera, et cetera. I am glad it wasn't Jade, because I was terrified that it was going to be Jade. And that's not a knock at Jade. She just isn't ready.
No,
she's just not ready. But Nia Jax does nothing for me, man. As far as a talent, she's a big Samoan bitch. You could if they used her like Andre, like they used Andre, like she should be used like a killer. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing too, man. Like a year ago, she was a joke. A year ago, like Nia Jax was a joke, and her performance in the ring was not great. She was unsafe. Suddenly, the Rock comes back, and suddenly she is like, she's gonna take one of the belts, dude. They're not taking that belt off Bayley.
Nope.
They're not taking that. They're not taking the belt that they just put on Liv Morgan. That belt's not going anywhere until Rhea Ripley comes back. So what's the point? Why not let somebody like Lyra, let her win, and then she gets a shot, and maybe you can elevate someone to a new level. Maybe you can find one of your next big stars. But I don't know. The match itself wasn't terrible. But and thankfully she didn't do anything to hurt anybody. Yeah, but it just, like you said, it didn't move the needle for me. It didn't move the needle at all.
And Lyra's still new to the roster. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you saw her match on Raw last night against Io Shirai.
No, that one I haven't watched Raw yet.
Io was on the top turnbuckle. Mm-hmm. Lyra climbs up and pretty much puts herself in the tree of woe, hanging upside down in the corner.
Yeah, I remember somebody did say something about that, and I was like, I have to see it.
God, she just puts her foot over there and just lays back like it was. Like, come on, seriously.
There's a lot of like really raw talent up on the main roster right now, which kind of confuses me. At the same time, I kind of understand it because the women's division has been depleted pretty badly in the last 2 years. on the main roster, but I do think that that she does have some upside to her, Lyra Valkyrie does, and I think Jaden has too. But like I said, man, they're green. So,
Yep.
But yeah, like the outcome of that match, that's just what I thought about that match. You got any question? You got anything to say about this match, Johnny?
No. I watched the other show because I could only pick one this time.
Oh, okay. King of the Ring final, Randy Orton versus Gunther. Dude, come on. You know what I'm going to say. Dude, this was awesome. And again, one of the big criticism, like Cornette, like I'm gonna channel Cornette here a little bit. The selling in WWE and AEW, man, where you're just getting absolutely murdered. You're getting hit with moves that should take you out. You're getting a limb worked over, and then all of a sudden you're perfectly fine. They need to go watch this match and watch how Randy Orton sells this match. He's Randy's getting absolutely killed. Getting that knee, getting that knee worked over, and it worked into the finish. He hit the RKO, but he couldn't follow it up. That's how you sell. That's how you do an injury angle. That's how you sell a match. And him and Gunther, like I said, this was match of the night for me. And actually, the announcers calling the match, that they actually did a good job on this one. I've never been the biggest fan of Michael Cole. I mean, I'll give the guy his credit. He's a trooper, man. He stayed there doing everything that Vince May told him, even when it was stupid. But yeah, this was one of the two best matches. I put this match and Strong versus Ospreay as the two best matches of the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think the right guy won. So here's the question is Gunther going after Cody, or is he going after Priest?
No, you didn't hear what I said before.
Did they already say
they're already Gunther is on Raw.
Right.
Jax is on SmackDown. You can only go after.
I understand.
Like you had a Raw with Valkyria, you had SmackDown with Jax. Whoever won, they went after the title on whatever brand they're assigned to. So Gunther can only go after.
Right. You don't go after
Damian Priest. Jax can only go after
Bailey. Yeah. But yeah, but then again, it's not like Money in the Bank. Well, I mean, bad, but that's not like they haven't pulled a friggin' swerve before. So
yeah, I mean they could trade people.
Yeah,
but
and
I'd rather see Gunther versus
Damian
Priest, and then build up to Gunther versus Cody.
Now here's the question: Priest and Cody have not been booked particularly great since winning their belts. Do you think they take the belt off of Priest?
No.
You don't think so?
Not yet.
I don't know, man.
Well, you've got 2 months because it's not till August for SummerSlam. So you've got 2 months. So let's see what Priest can do in the next month and a half. My opinion might change. Like, let's see what kind of match he has with Drew at Clash of the Castle and see how they book him the next month and a half.
Dude, there's a lot of people saying that Drew's going to take the belt at Clash of the Castle. Which I'm like, if that's the case, then you're going to have your two biggest heels clashing for the belt, which, I mean, okay, it's happened before, but I just don't think it's a good idea.
I think you could have it to where he's about to win it, and then he doesn't have to come out. You just play Punk's music.
Yeah.
And that distracts Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest gets to win.
I also think, and like I said, there's a lot of people that are being negative about both of them right now. I just don't think it's been long enough to really dictate whether or not their run's been good or not. But you know how it is. It's like we were talking about earlier, man. Fans think they know better, and people just talking crap. I want to see Priest hold that belt for at least another 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen? Who knows? But Gunther being inserted into the world title scene is good enough for now. I think you could keep that going for the rest of the year, and then next year sometime, then you get him, then you give him his belt.
Yep.
I think that's the way they should do it. He's like not to say anything about the Rock, but Gunther's the final boss, man. In my mind, he's the top heel in the company right now. He's the monster that's circling. He's the great white shark circling around on the outside, about to come in and just start wrecking everybody.
Yep.
Money in the Bank reigns don't last long. That's the other thing too, is when people were saying that people who win Money in the Bank don't usually hold on to the belt for very long. And then also there's the whole storyline with Judgment Day collapsing and all that stuff. I hope not, but I wouldn't be shocked if it did happen. So, but yeah. Anyway, that match of the night, and then also like they had the finish. I honestly think that they're going to run him and Gunther and Orton back again because of Orton getting his shoulder up off of the mat before the 3 count. So I think that was deliberate. And then the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. This was a good match. This was a really, really good match. It was very entertaining. At no point did I think they were going to take that belt off of Cody. I did think that maybe they could have they were going to do like a controversial ending or something like that. That would maybe extend this out a little bit or set up whatever is coming next. But no, this was just a good, solid, entertaining match in the ring, man. And honestly, I think this is the best match that Cody's had since he won.
Yeah, I think so too. Like we said before, Logan Paul has stepped up his game. So hats off to him. I mean, he's dedicated and putting the work in. So I skeptical at first, but he's winning me over.
He's doing it with the hey man. He's doing it with the work. He's doing it with the work, man. He's proving himself to be a big like a big spectacle match guy. And like I said, I don't know if he could maintain this. If he were working like a full schedule and everything, which he's not. But when he comes in and does these matches like this, man, he shows exactly why they picked him up. So overall for the show, what do you think, man? I think it was a solid A-. It was a solid. It was either a high B+ or a solid A- for me, man.
A B for me.
The Valkyria Jax match was not particularly great. The kickoff match was not. The tag match was not particularly great. The triple threat match would have been better if it had just been in the singles. But I think you had out of a 5-match card, you had 4 matches that were solid. You had that were at least solid. 2 of them that were really good, and 1 of them that was a friggin' banger.
Yep.
So, I think that's a low A, high B. It's like a high B or a low A for me.
I had to go into B's for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just such a big fan of Gunther's. See, So, all right. So, King and Queen of the Ring. That's our take. AEW Double Nothing. Oh my God, there's a lot of matches to get through on this.
It's only 5.5 to 6 hours. Come on.
Jeez, dude. Just gonna run through the buy-in real quick because I only watched one of them and then I just kind of breezed through the rest of it. Peraza versus Rosa, solid match. They had more time and it was. I think it was if they had more time and if it was actually on the main show, probably would have been better. But I do like that Peraza defeated Rosa because it gives her a little more legitimacy coming in there. Good match to watch. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass defeat Brian Cage. The Cage of Agony is what is that what they're calling him now? The Cage of Agony?
I think so.
Or something like that.
Because of his last name. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm over the Acclaimed. like Brian Cage, every match that guy's been proven for the last 6-7 months that he deserves to be in a much more elevated position than he is. And Gates of Agony are an awesome power tag team. Why they're losing to these guys, especially with all the steam having left them, I don't get it. But I'm glad it was on the friggin' pre-show because I don't give a shit about the Acclaimed anymore. Coming out the gate, man, like Jericho says, if you can't be last, be first. Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay, international title match of the night, in my opinion.
Yep.
It was awesome, man. It was fantastic. Again, I do wish that the selling had been like the selling during the match was pretty good, but then how everybody just kind of gets up and walks away at the end is like, really? Roderick Strong was selling his match all night. Ospreay not wanting to hit the Tiger Driver until Don Callis fired him up about it. Look, whatever your opinion of with Ospreay, the dude can work the ring, man. He's awesome.
Yes.
He's in my opinion in the ring. He's the best. He's the best working today. So awesome match. I do wish that the Kingdom there was less interference. And like I said, because of that interference, the way Ospreay's head hit the ground on that one move looked bad. But yeah, banger of a banger match. I don't think it was quite as good as his matches with Kenny, but this was a really good match. And like I said, I think match of the night. What do you think?
Yeah, Kenny. Well, Ospreay. I mean,
Yeah,
one of the best that AEW has right now. I mean,
yeah, and then trying to build around him. And like I said, that international title was made for him, dude.
yeah,
He's going to take that, and he's going to go to every other company, and he's just going to be a hit.
He should. I mean, if you're not going to put the world title on him, put the international title on him.
And I like this because it means that we can keep Swerve gets to cook a little bit longer at least, and show what he can do. Because dude, I'm digging Swerve. I'm digging him in. I like it. I think it's doing really well right now.
Take the title to Rev Pro. Take the title to New Japan. Do whatever. Yeah. Let them.
Dude, he was naming off. He's like, I'm going to take it to TNT. I'm going to take it to New Japan. I'm taking it all over the world. I was like, dude, I'm down with that. Freaking, him versus him versus Josh Alexander from TNT at All In. Give it to me now. Sign it up. Sign it. I'm ready. But yeah, great match. Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle. I don't like that they're calling them the Bang Bang. I mean, if they want to call them the Bang Bang Gang as like a vernacular, that's fine. I still think they should be called Bullet Club Gold. They did. I know they did, but they keep calling them. They introduced them as that. But
no more Bang Bang Scissor Gang. So
nope. I do like that that Death Triangle. The way they did this match, it let Death Triangle look strong, and the reason why that they won is because Juice Robinson showed up. So hopefully we'll get Juice versus Pac going forward.
Hopefully Ray Phoenix can stay healthy.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Talking about sometimes you got to protect guys from themselves. Look, I know that's Ray's style, and I know that he works that crazy lucha libre style, man. But he's been getting hurt a lot the last couple of years. So, and I want to keep the guy healthy. So maybe take the gas off the pedal a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Great match. Good to see Juice Robinson back, and it was fun. It was a good match. It was a good, solid match. Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb. Man, the crowd did not give a shit about this match in the beginning. They were dead. I mean, they were dead. But towards, like I said, this match, like the in-ring work was so good. Here's the thing with Serena Deeb. I do agree with what a lot of people have been saying. They should have flipped Tony Storm face during this. Serena Deeb should have worked as a heel because she works better as a heel because she can't cut a promo to save her goddamn life. But once the in-ring action started, about halfway through this match, the crowd started to wake up. And by the end of it, they were into it, man. And the fact that the number of near falls was great. Tony Storm having to hit 2 Storm Zeros to win really helps build up Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb's in-ring work is awesome. She in ring, she's one of probably the 5 best wrestlers in the world right now.
Yep.
In women's wrestling. And the counters and transitions were great. Like I said, this was in my opinion Tony Storm's best match since going to AEW. Hands down, bar none. And they credit to both of them, man. By the end of this match, they got the crowd into it. So there you go. And on like I said, the crowd when they weren't interested in the match, boy, they let you know. But yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for Johnny because Johnny said he's gonna have some scathing shit. I'm just waiting for him to jump in here.
Yeah, so am I.
So maybe it's okay. Maybe okay. All right. What's up, Johnny?
You know who I hate.
I know, and we're there now. Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta.
One of the worst matches of the night.
Yep.
You were there.
Yeah. Pockets did not need to win this match. If they wanted to really give Trent some momentum going forward, if they wanted to give him something that could help him, after not being a part of Best Friends because Chuck Taylor's retiring because of his injuries, Pockets doesn't need to win this match. So, and at the end it was over.
Why did they work this blood feud supposed match like a regular mat wrestling? Like,
I don't know, dude. Another thing too is like why is Pocket? Because what Trent Beretta said when this thing first came out was true. Orange Cassidy was their mascot. He wasn't the main center of the Best Friends. It was Trent and Chuck were the best friends, and then Pockets was their mascot. And now you've got Pockets who let me make this very clear. The dude can work. Okay. Dude can work in the ring. Like that match that he had with Ospreay at the first Forbidden Door was fantastic.
Yeah.
But he didn't win, did he?
No.
So why is he on a regular basis beating everybody, including people who are 3 times his size?
Because Tony dressed as him for Halloween.
Because the thing is here's the thing about Cassidy's character. This dude can lose constantly and still be over as hell. Because that's the way it was in the first couple of years.
Yeah, he never does anymore.
But now he's beating Big Bill, man. I'm like, I thought you were trying to build him up. Why are you having him lose to a guy that weighs like $170? He's a monster. And this is, again, it goes back to what said about Tony Khan. What Tony Khan does well, he does really well. He's very, very good at booking these big dream matches, but he can't book big men to save his ass. And when it's Pockets, everybody's a big man.
For me, the shine is worn off of Pockets.
It has. I agree.
It's been a couple of years for me.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean Cassidy, when he sells a move, he sells it really, really well. But then again, it's just like I was talking about earlier with Orton. When Orton sold that friggin' knee, the whole match, even in the finish, everything. Pockets just suddenly jumps up and he's invincible. And I'm like, this does nothing. This does not elevate Cassidy. All it does is it makes Trent look like a secondary character. Like it doesn't matter. And this match was the booking on this match. The in-ring wrestling on it was fine. It was not it was a decent match. but the storytelling in it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And you've just basically cut Trent off at the knees. He's not going anywhere. He's lower mid card forever.
Yep.
So this was probably this wasn't the worst match.
No, it's coming up.
Oh yeah, this wasn't the worst match, but this match was probably the most disappointing. Because only reason I say that is because we all know what the next match is. It's the FTW title shot. Chris Jericho, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. I knew exactly what was going to happen in this match as soon as it was announced.
That's the worst match of the night.
This match, I will say this though, this match made me physically angry. Like I couldn't understand. Like I'm watching this, and I don't understand why. So, by the way, I gave that last match like a the in-ring work. I give it a 3 out of 5. Storytelling, I give it like a 0.
I would rather never see another wrestling show again than see through a new Jericho Appreciation Society or Inner Circle. This guy gotta go. It's time to go.
So the one thing I will say about this is everyone's talking about like, Brian Keith is now part of the learning tree, which I'm like, we all know who the original learning tree is, and it wasn't Jericho.
It's Big Daddy, okay?
Big Daddy, yep.
Tree.
We've been calling him that for years. Learn at the learning tree. I'm like, there's 2 people in this match that I'm like, I'm over both of them. Chris Jericho. Look, I appreciate the guy's creativity. I appreciate everything he's done in the past. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. It's time, dude. It's time. You need to stop. You're there. You should be there to put other people over, not continue to try to latch on to what you think is the only way you're relevant, which I think is ridiculous. Hook is 170 pounds soaking wet. There's no way he should be beating the shit out of people like Joe.
Quit being a succubus, Jericho.
He needs to, yeah, there you go. That's what he's doing, man. He's leeching heat off of other people. Him working with Hook is not a friggin' like, oh, you want me to work with Hook? No, he wanted to work with Hook.
It doesn't elevate Hook at all.
Nope. Doesn't elevate Hook at all. It makes Shibata look like a putz. Shibata, this match should have been, they're in there doing like Jericho's doing, the learning tree, and Hook's like, oh, I'm a badass. Shibata should have came in there and murdered both of them. Shibata should have went in there and just freaking destroyed them. Like, you want to see a real badass? You want to see the real killer? Here you go. Katsuyori freaking Shibata. And he should have, and like the gimmick. Look, I'm glad the guy's working again. I'm glad he's able to do what he loves. If you know his story, it's amazing. He should not be laying down for people like Jericho and Hook.
No.
And like you said, this does nothing to elevate Hook. It definitely doesn't elevate Shibata. It doesn't elevate Jericho, because Jericho right now is like, Jericho could lose every match for the next year and it would not do a damn thing to him. So I do like that Brian Keith is in here, but I think I don't think Brian Keith, that's the one thing. I don't think Brian Keith is joining Jericho. I think they're leaning into the bounty hunter gimmick, and basically he got hired by Jericho to take them out. And that's what he's going to do. He's basically going to be a gun for hire. And that's cool. I'm down with that. That's a good idea. I like it. It fits the character. But if they have him bending the knee to freaking Jericho, and Jericho and just, oh God, oh, look, doing character, it's just.
Whoever benefited from bringing one of his stables. Whoever benefited from being in a stable with him in that company.
Only one person ever benefited from any of the stables that Jericho put together, and that was Sammy.
Yep.
And
look how that's working out for him.
And I think that was by design, because I think Jericho wanted him to. But even then, man, when he turned on Jericho, did Jericho put Sammy over? Nope. Cut him off at the knees, just like everybody else. And it pains me to say that because I like Jericho. Jericho's been one of my favorite wrestlers since the WCW days. I love the dude. But it's very clear that he's being narcissistic here. And this match the finish in this match made me physically angry. So like I said, I think the Pockets match was worse as far as storytelling and everything's concerned. This match just and here's the other thing too. Either make the FTW a legitimate title or get rid of it. Okay, make it the hardcore title, like rebrand it and say the FTW belt is now the AEW hardcore championship or something like that. Either that or get rid of it. It doesn't need to be there. If it's not legitimate, it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
So
and they already have too many titles in AEW and Ring of Honor to begin with,
and he's talking about bringing in 2 new tag belts, man. He's talking about bringing in a women's tag, and he's talking about bringing in a mixed tag.
Oh yeah,
I thought we already had a mixed tag kind of thing with the Owen Hart thing, but what are you going to do? I don't know. Yeah, there's too many belts.
Your first mixed tag team champions will be Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Ugh. John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. I am 2 minds of this match. This was a good match. It was not the best match they've ever had. I know the people are, and I understand why people are upset that it's like it's just a qualifier match. Why can't you put over Takeshita? You need to go talk to New Japan about that decision. And a lot of people are like, well, then why is it on the show? Well, it's on the show because they're gearing up for Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
That's why what's his name was there Saturday? Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's why Tanahashi was there Saturday. That's why they put the belt on John Moxley, because I think he's going to lose it at Forbidden Door. I think he's going to drop it to whoever's going to take it. New Japan loves John Moxley. He does a lot of good work for them. I'd be surprised if he keeps it, but I do think he's going to drop it there. And sometimes, when you have a mutual thing like that, you got to do what the other company wants.
They already got all the talent from them. Do they need to keep the belt too?
Dude, no, they needed to put that belt on somebody. They needed to put that belt on a big name because they, like you said, they lost so many people. They lost Okada, they lost Ospreay, they lost Jay White. Those were like Jay White and Ospreay were like their 2 top heels in the company. And Ospreay was like the number 2 guy in the company. Okada was number 1 and Ospreay was number 2.
Yep.
And they lost all 3 of those dudes within the span of 2 years. And I love Naito. I love New Japan. They got a lot of guys that are really talented. They're not on the same level as those guys, especially not now. Naito's getting to the point where he's going to start being one of those dudes that puts people over, because I think he's in his 40s now too, and he's had a lot of health problems and everything in the past. But this match was basically a nod to New Japan. Is AEW putting a New Japan guy, a New Japan match on one of, if not their biggest shows. And this was them paying it back, is what this was. So people that are upset with the finish, look at New Japan, because New Japan does this a lot. They don't like booking their champions to lose matches unless there's like some kind of a stipulation or something like that, which in this one there was. That, like, I still think they could have had, and I think it would have done wonders for Takeshita, and put it over. But Takeshita's not a New Japan guy, and I know for a fact they weren't going to let him win this thing. But it was a fun match. It was a good match. I do think Takeshita looked really, really good in this. Hopefully Tony stops, sitting on him a little bit. Like I said, if you're going to do something with the TNT title, there's a guy you could put it on that would elevate them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he could work. What were you going to say?
No, I said definitely put it on Takeshita.
Yeah. Put it on.
If you're not going to put on Malachi or Buddy Matthews, put on Takeshita.
Yep.
Get some belts for Don Callis' family.
Yeah, put it on Takeshi. Yeah, exactly. When are we going to take one of these bad guy, other than the Elite, who are kind of like treading water, in my personal opinion, right now until Kenny gets back? Take one of these other heel factions and give them, like, you screwed it up with the Kingdom. You dropped the ball with Kingdom bad. Put the gold on the Callis family and let them run roughshod. And elevate some of these guys. Callis, I do like what they're doing with Callis right now. I don't like the fact, and like I said, Moxley, this was actually one of the matches where Moxley actually sold really well. That whole arm injury thing, he actually sold it pretty well. But again, at the very end, just getting up and walking away, I'm just like, okay, whatever, man. But Copeland versus Malachi Black. Again, good match, ruined by the friggin' ending. I would have preferred that Malachi Black won, because I think they could do a lot more storyline wise if Edge was basically initially forced to be part of the House of Black and then like maybe ended up joining it. I like the tease that they did where you had Brody Lee and Buddy Matthews almost looked like they were going to turn on Malachi, and then they turned around and they beat the crap out of friggin' out of Adam Copeland. But that ending, man, that soured everything.
Did you like the gay girl part coming up?
Dude, everybody said like WWE's reasoning why they didn't have Gangrel was like, oh, we didn't think anybody would remember everything. As soon as he popped out, every person there friggin' flipped. They knew exactly who he was.
Would they know in WWE though? That's a different thing.
Oh, yeah, they would, dude. Dude, the WWE fans were pissed off that he didn't show up. That was one of the things that they were complaining about. Was like, why? It's like why didn't you have Gangrel come out? Why? That would have been perfect.
When you had Edge in his match in WWE, he could have had the Brood with Gangrel come out with him.
Yeah, you could have done that, but fair play. They thought it wasn't going to work. Turns out it did. But like I said, the fans loved it. That's how and then plus it kind of made sense as that, like, that's why he was able to get the win. He eked out the win because of surprise. What I would have done, I would have had Gangrel come out, and then I would have had him turn on Adam Copeland. I would have had him beat him and help them beat him down, and then give the win to the House of Black. He's now part of the House of Black. But the only thing that the match was good. The match was really good, but all everybody's gonna think about is that finish, man. And unfortunately, that put him on the shelf.
Yep.
He got he broke his tibia, and he needs surgery, so he's gonna be gone for at least 6 months. That fight was, I think, was it 5 to 6 months?
Did they say was it his right leg?
I think so.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's
yeah,
right leg, left leg, doesn't matter. It's broken. So
yeah, which is unfortunate. But again, especially these aging wrestlers, sometimes you got to protect them from themselves. And this is a spot that never should have happened, in my personal opinion. It's easy to say that because hindsight's 2020. But even Copeland himself said, he's like, I forgot I was 50 years old. And I don't care if you're 25, 30 years old, man, coming off a 20-foot friggin' cage onto your feet. Not good. So, good match. Unfortunate finish. I do think that Black should have won, though.
Yes.
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. This was a really good match. Finally, Mercedes Moné doing what she does best, which is work in the ring. She can't talk. She definitely can't talk for 3 months. And apparently they're like, oh, no, she was ready to go from day one. I'm like, what? Yes, Big Daddy. go ahead and ask your question. But they said, because like everyone was speculating that maybe she wasn't quite ready. Maybe she was still working out to come back from her injury. No, she was ready to go. How are your nuts that sliding glass door? Yeah, I had a lot of people asking me about that. So that's a comment from I made a comment on a Twitter post, and basically like what would be more entertaining? And I said slamming my balls in a sliding glass door. Because yeah, anyway, go check out my my Twitter feed if you want to see what we're talking about. But Mercedes Monet, where Mercedes truly shines, where she's truly good is her in-ring work. And the fact that we had to wait 3 months, I think really it diminished her effect that she was going to have on this company.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, now that she's going to be performing on a regular basis, or at least we hope she's going to be performing on a regular basis. This means that she can now, like I said, do what she does best: have great matches in the ring. As long as they put her in there with good people. She definitely doesn't need to be on the mic a lot. She definitely, that's what, her in-ring work is what she brings to the table. And the fact that it took 3 months to get her in the goddamn ring, and the fact that she was ready to go the whole time.
Yeah, right.
This was not, that's what they say. And if that's true, then Tony Khan needs to be kicked in the dick. Because so seriously, dude, like, you've got
sliding glass door now kicking into Rochambeau and somebody. Damn.
You know what she brings to the table. Why are you not going to use it? Why are you going to sit on this for 3 months? 3 months, dude. Most of the freaking year, like all over half the year so far. And she's coming out making lame promos and making appearances that don't make sense. It's like, what are you doing, man? Leg Kick says it was a good match. Pretty much AEW had great matches through their pay-per-view. AEW needs to develop storylines, though. Great feuds make the best wrestling. Here's the thing. They had a lot of storylines. It's just a lot of them were half-baked.
Yeah.
And this one, including this one. Obviously, the big oh my God, was Chris Statlander. And here's the other thing, too. So Mercedes wins the belt, and then she immediately leaves. And it's like, because they were, and we all know that the reason why they did that is because they did the whole thing where Chris Statler and Stokely Hathaway turned on her.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You could have done this last week on Dynamite or the week before, and that would have added another level to the storytelling of this match. Okay? You didn't need to do it on the pay-per-view and completely distract from what should have been Mercedes Monet's celebration and winning this match. Okay? So, or you do it next week. You do it this coming week on Dynamite. And then you build the storyline from there.
Yeah, you could have teased something like she trips her or something and grabs a leg by accident on the outside of the ring and sets up something and then lays her out tomorrow.
Yeah,
on Dynamite.
Yeah, lays her out on Dynamite, or do it before. Either way would have worked better than doing it there. Because one, you're just extending the time on this thing. Two, you're taking away from Mercedes. Like, you're supposed to be celebrating this person. This person's supposed to be like one of the two biggest signings you did all year. And so once again, TK fumbling the ball with Mercedes here. He needs to right the ship with this, man, because if this is the kind of stuff they're going to do, she's not going to have an effect at all. So, but the match itself was great. Match, like I said, Willow can work, Mercedes can work. It was a great match. First Strickland versus Christian Cage. I am glad they didn't do it, but there was a part of me that thought that they might actually let Christian win this. I would not have a problem with Christian Cage having one final run as a world champion in a company, especially considering he is the top heel in this company. He's the best heel in the company. But I am glad that they are giving Swerve Strickland time to work and letting him make his mark, man, because his in-ring work is fantastic. He's good. He's a good promo. Swerve's a great champion. And I think he's one of those guys you could build towards his future with. You know, him. Dude, eventually, we know the match that everybody's thinking about: him versus Will Ospreay. We know that's what everybody's thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. And somewhere down the line, these two guys are going to meet. And I don't know that that Ospreay is going to take the world title off of Strickland, but at some point, Ospreay is going to be the world champion. I say Ospreay will be the world champion by the end of next year. And when he does, one of the first feuds that he should have is with Strickland. Swerve's been great. Cage, the storytelling in this was fantastic. I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are probably going to make fun of me, but because I initially didn't like it, and I still don't think that she needs to be there as often as she is. Shayna Wayne was actually an interesting part of this match.
Oh my God!
I know. I feel dirty even saying it, but
you're dirty whore.
And the thing that scares me is that they're gonna hear people going, oh, you know, that actually wasn't a bad angle on this match. On this match, okay? Let me emphasize this. On this match. It worked, okay? I'm cool with it. I don't want this every freaking week. I don't need this shit. Okay? It's just but I love that they had multiple false finishes. There was a lot of back and forth in here. Strickland won with the swerve stomp after the house call. And there was a lot of good stuff in here. Nigel and Taz were really good on commentary on this too. Yes. They were a lot of fun. But this was a great match, man. This was like right up. This was like one of the best matches of the night. They were almost all of them were at least decent matches, except for, like I said, those two. All right, we got to talk this last thing, and then we're done here. The Elite versus Team AEW. This was too long, man.
Give me the flamethrower.
Oh my God.
They're not gonna stop these things until somebody dies doing that match.
Oh my God. So
last week they almost put someone on fire with Eddie Kingston. This time they did. What's next? Because they're gonna try to one up themselves.
Yeah, I know, and I have a problem with that. But as far as the match itself was concerned, we knew it was going to be a friggin' insane. Thankfully, nobody got seriously hurt, although Darby got friggin' dude. He's
gonna be in a wheelchair soon.
Dude, I swear to God, dude. He's made of rubber, but at some point, this is all gonna catch up to him, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad. The dude, what was it? A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, he broke his freaking ankle. And then he got hit by a bus. And the first thing they think about when Eddie Kingston goes out with his injury was, oh, let's go get the guy that broke his ankle and got hit by a bus. There's nobody else? Really? You got Claudio? Claudio would have been interesting because then you could do a storyline with him and Eddie. When Eddie comes back, he's like, I can't believe you had that guy. Because they hate each other. Okay? They legitimately hate each other. So it's like healthy guy, completely healthy guy that's hamburger. Oh, let's get him. The only reason they did this is because Jack Perry was in this match. It's like, there's one of the pillars. Let's bring in another one. I'm like,
put anything on top of that pillar, everything's going to come crumbling down. I hate those guys so much. I don't want to see them anymore.
Sammy is healthy. He would have been better. I mean, yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Darby to be there, other than the whole pillar thing. But if you're going to do the pillar thing, Sammy's healthy. He's sitting there waiting to go.
Did they put flame retardant
Yes.
stuff on his beard? Because that thing didn't catch on fire.
Hey, let's be honest, man. He could lose some of that beard and he would probably look better. But like,
his whole face on fire.
And then when they did that, I was like, oh, that's why they did the whole dunking in the cold tank thing, is because they were putting the flame retardant stuff on him. But that right there, like I said, it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be there.
And he didn't put him out. He didn't take him out.
Nope. That's the okay. Yeah, there were three major things about this match.
Not four?
No, there was three. There's your fourth right there. One, the length. It was an hour. It was over an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was long on an already long show. Like, bruh. Two, setting a dude on fire. What are you gonna do next year? You're gonna cut someone's head off? Seriously, like, you're gonna drop them from you're gonna Rey Mysterio him off the side of a building.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? And three, he came back. Like, wait a minute, you turned this dude into a charcoal briquette, and he just shrugged it off.
Oh, we actually have a fourth thing if you want to put it there.
Okay, hit me with it. What you got?
Tony Khan being someone involved.
Okay. Here's the thing. Like, okay. Now I would be the first one to say him rolling down the ramp like that was awful. It looked terrible.
Like,
but here's
that's
the thing.
That's the thing people make fun of my type of football for.
Here's the thing though. I don't expect him to be any good at this stuff. Okay, he's an executive. He's not an athlete. He's not even an athlete. He's not a talent. He's not an athlete. He's not a wrestler. He doesn't need to be involved in this stuff. And he said going forward, he's not going to be.
That's the easy solution. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, but like the people that are ragging on him, I'm like, what do you expect, dude? He's a freaking pencil pusher.
Oh, hey, Justin Roberts got it right when he said, "Welcome to the shit show."
Pretty much. Like I said, man, it was enjoyable for what it was. It's what it is every year. Oh my God. Hang on, my glucose is going
up. Did we lose Rob?
No. He's just doing the thing with his medicine. It's okay.
Well, I thought he put himself on mute. Yeah, but
I had to mute myself because that no alarm's going to piss off everybody.
That's
right. But I don't. Like I said, like Kick said, it was a good match. Like the matches, all the matches were pretty much were decent in ring. A lot of them were really, really good. Some seriously questionable storytelling stuff, and just some bad decisions as far as like people's safety. Copeland should not have done that jump off the cage. You didn't need to set someone on fire. But overall, I thought the show was good.
Do you think it was better than King and Queen or no?
I think storytelling wise, I think King and Queen was better. Match quality and just like, just having amazing wrestling. I think Double or Nothing was better. It's hard for me to say which one was better overall. Because honestly, I think there were more mistakes in Double or Nothing than there were with King and Queen of the Ring.
And you have so much time. When you have so much time to make mistakes. And
that's the other thing too, man. They gotta cut some of these matches down. Some of these matches didn't need to be on. Especially considering what they did with them, some of these matches didn't need to be on this show. Trent versus Orange Cassidy didn't need to be on this show. If that finish and everything that happened was what you're going to do, didn't need to be on the show.
No, go ahead.
Acclaimed versus Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony, that didn't need to be on the show. Well, that was on the pre-show, but that didn't need to be there at all. You could do that match on Dynamite. You could do that match on Rampage. You could do that match on Collision. Didn't need to be on a pay-per-view at all. And drag out how long this friggin' show was for all these people. So You could cut that match. You could cut Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata. You could cut 3 matches off of this show and it would have been perfectly fine. And it would have been like a 3.5 hour show instead of a 5.5 hour show. So,
right. So
I would say, yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say for me, the question that you asked, honestly, I think I'm going to go with King and Queen of the Ring. I think overall it was better. I think overall it was a better show. I think there was better wrestling on Double or Nothing, but I think because of how long it was and all the mistakes that were made and the bad choices, it soured it for me. What do you think?
Well, leads to my question. You've got WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. That's the 4 big ones for WWE. What are your 4 big for AEW? Because you've got Revolution, Full Gear, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All In.
Yeah. I think for
All
me...
And All Out.
All Out. Which this year there's going to be 2 weeks between. Good idea.
Which, if you just want to go with 4, which are your big 4 for AEW?
Revolution, Double or Nothing, All In, Full Gear. I think those 4 are the big ones for.
Because that was the first 4 they started with.
Yeah, I know. Those 4 I think are the big 4. Because Forbidden Door is a multi-company show, I don't feel like it's definitely one of their bigger. It's one of their bigger shows. It might that and All In, Forbidden Door and All In might be the 2 biggest shows. Like as far as the hype and everything is concerned, those 2 shows might be the 2 biggest shows that they have. But as far as the company itself is concerned, it's those 4.
All right. So with that being said, do you think at any point in the next couple of years that they do the WWE thing and have a 2-night event with any of those?
No, they do the Wrestle Kingdom thing because that's where WWE got it from.
Right, but do you think any of those 4 goes to a 2-night event?
I think so. I think it's very possible that All In might go 2 nights.
I think if you see if WWE goes to 2 nights with their main 4, I think
AEW does. Yeah, I think they would do it with at least 2 of them.
It would be less tiresome than a 6-hour show in one night.
Yes, it would. And what I would do is I would take All In and All Out and turn them into one show. Turn them into one show. Basically, it'll be All In on Saturday and All Out on Sunday. But basically, it'll be, take that to me is the most logical conclusion for that. Wembley is now. Here's the question though: can you get Wembley for 2 nights like that? Because All In, from what I understand, they want it to be at Wembley.
Right.
So
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could.
Yeah, you probably could. And I think that makes a lot more sense than having All In and then 2 weeks later having All Out. And if you're going to go to the 2-night format, I think that's the one show that 100% makes sense to do it with. And honestly, even though what was the first was Full Gear or Revolution the first pay-per-view that they did? It was Full Gear, right? Full Gear was the first official pay-per-view for AEW when they became a company. Because I think that's when Jericho won. Pretty sure. I know that a lot of people think that that Revolution is their main show. I don't think so. I think All In is. I think All In is basically their WrestleMania now. And if you're going to go 2 nights with any show, you go with your big boy. So, and considering how popular that thing is over there, you could sell out. You could sell big time for 2 nights.
Easily. Oh yeah, you'll sell out Wembley for 2 nights.
I mean, you either sell out or you get really close to a sellout. Wembley's going to be their biggest crowd no matter what. No matter what. So that's the one that makes sense for me if you're going to do that format. But
so with that being said, that's why I would probably rate Double or Nothing slightly above King of the Ring, King, Queen of the Ring, because of it being one of their 4 probably pillars of AEW.
Yeah, I can see that. And like I said, like it was, if you take out the two spots that I'm like, this is so unsafe. This doesn't, you take out the jump off the top of the cage, you take out the flamethrower, and you make just a few tweaks to some storyline stuff. Like I said, you take 1 or 2 of those matches off that didn't need to be there because the end result was negligible. Then I think All Out. Then I think Double or Nothing would have easily beaten King and Queen of the Ring. But those things soured me on the show, and it was just, and that's what can happen with wrestling shows, bad decisions. Look what happened with WrestleMania last year.
Yep.
That finale poisoned that show for me, man. I was like, this is the stupidest decision you could possibly make. So, and that's just me. That's the way I feel. Like, I could appreciate a show for like with what the talent do and everything like that, but if a glaringly bad decision comes down the pipe, that can ruin a show for me. But that's the way I felt. Anything else, you guys? Got Johnny? You want to talk some more shit or?
Yeah, we've done it. We've worked overtime on that today, so.
Yeah, I mean, I knew today, and then I wanted to go longer today too because we started late, and plus we didn't do a show last week, and there was so much to talk about this week. Oh my god! But anyway, that's gonna be it for us, guys. Appreciate everybody was here. Big Daddy, appreciate all the questions and the insight. Always, guys, check out Big Daddy over on Guardian of Chaos, and check out the Paradise Alley wrestling the videos that he puts up. Man, there's some cool stuff in there. Definitely go check out Hey Roma. Hey Roma. It's cool. It's a cool show. Mario Mancini and Paul Roma talking about all their experiences in the past and everything. And it's like I said, man, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, man, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. There's a lot out there. There's something for everybody. And it's the fact that we're able to sit here and nitpick shows like this just shows you how much a lot of good wrestling there is.
Thank you, Miss Saren.
Yep. Yes, Miss Sarah. Appreciate that.
You have a lovely evening too.
Yep. Leg kick. Hicks villain. Gio the Sage.
Maldacito.
I'm glad Maldacito didn't die on his way home. Appreciate you being here, guys.
GOC, thank you as always.
Yep.
Hicks
Johnny,
villain.
appreciate you coming in and hanging with us and making it fun. But take care, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.